Genesis chapter 2. Thus the heavens and the earth were completed in all their vast array. By the seventh day, God finished the work he had been doing. So on the seventh day, he rested from all his work. Then God blessed the seventh day and made it holy, because on it he rested from all the work of creating that he had done. This is the count of the heavens and the earth when they were created. When the Lord God made the earth and the heavens, no now no shrub had yet appeared on the earth, and no plant had yet sprung up, for the Lord God had not sent rain on the earth, and there was no one to work the ground. But streams came up from the earth and watered the whole surface of the ground. Then the Lord God formed a man from the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and the man became a living being. Now the Lord God had planted a garden in the east, in Eden, and there he put the man he had formed. The Lord God made all kinds of trees grow out of the ground, trees that were pleasing to the eye and good for food. In the middle of the garden were there tree of life and tree of the knowledge of good and evil. A river watering the garden flowed from Eden. From there it was separated into four headwaters. The name of the first is the Pishon. It winds through the entire land of Havilah, where there is gold. The gold of that land is good. Aromatic resin and onyx are also there. The name of the second river is the Gihon. It winds through the entire land of Cush. The name of the third river is the Tigris. It runs along the east side of Asher, and the fourth river is the Euphrates. The Lord God took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to work it and take care of it. And the Lord God commanded the man, "You are free to eat from any tree in the garden, but you must not eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, for when you eat from it, you will certainly die." The Lord God said, "It is not good for the man to be alone. I will make a helper suitable for him." Now the Lord God had formed out of the ground all the wild animals and all the birds in the sky. He brought them to the man to see what he would name them, and whatever the man called each living creature, that was its name. So the man gave names to all the livestock, the birds in the sky, and all the wild animals. But for Adam, no suitable helper was found. So the Lord God caused the man to fall into a deep sleep, and while he was sleeping, he took one of the man's ribs, and then closed up the place with flesh. Then the Lord God made a woman from the rib he had taken out of the man, and he brought her to the man. The man said, This is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, for she was taken out of man. That is why a man leaves his father and mother and is united to his wife, and they become one flesh. Adam and his wife were both naked, and they felt no shame. Genesis chapter 2. On this chapter, um, it was like a summary of what chapter 1 was all about. So we can see here that it was stated how man and woman was created. So as we read, the man was created out of the dust. God formed the man out of the dust and breathed life, the breath of life. Such that's in verse 7. So the woman, however, was taken out from man's ribs, and it was not clearly stated how God made her a woman. But one thing is for sure: the woman was taken out from man's ribs, and for a purpose of helping the man to take care of God's creation. So there was no statement in God's that man should or a woman should be like a lower class compared to man. That's just to be clear. God created both, and one thing is for sure: God breathed a breath of life as well to the bones for that bone to come to life and become a woman. So I there was a Rema verse here on the chapter of on the verse. Streams came up. Oh, okay. So I'll just share something about uh, what I think or what God is impressing to me about when God said to not to eat not to eat um, the fruit from the but you must not eat on this verse 17, but you must not eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, for when you eat from it you will certainly die. So it was not explained here, but for me, one thing is for sure for me why God do this, because there was no explanation why God put that kind of tree on the garden. It was just stated. So I can think that this is just to test the man, his creation. He gave free will to his creation, to the man, and um, for me, he wanted to test if this man would obey him. So just one tree. So for like it's a matter of separating yourself. I mean like being disciplined, because in everything you can do everything. You can do what is good, but make sure to love the Lord and to obey Him. That's it. So this is like a glimpse of what we are doing right now. So God provided everything for Adam. He gave him livestock and all the fruit of the trees, fruit bearing trees within the earth he can eat, but just one tree that he is not allowed to eat, and that's the tree of knowledge So, like, we can relate it to our situation now in our lives. So this was long, long, long ago. It was the start of the creation. But right now, as we live, how can we relate on this? We need to relate because this is not just a story. It was a story of God, and everything that we have now is because of this. So we need to relate. It's not just knowledge. We must not read the Bible just to have knowledge, just for us to know it. We must find ourselves on this book because this is the book of life. God created this. God wrote this for us to have um, um, a model to live, right? Because we live for a purpose. There is a reason why we're living, and we must find ourselves where we are going. So God provided this way of us knowing what we must do, what how we must live our life. So like what I've said earlier, God provided everything for us. We can do everything. We have unlimited resources. We have unlimited knowledge. All right, we can learn from school. We can learn on our own. When we live, we are when we were born, we're helpless. But there was parent. We have parents who took care of us, and now we're grown up. How come we can say that, Lord, you forsake me when you're even in your age right now? How come that you're still living, right? So God never forsake people, but one thing is for sure, he commanded us to love him, to give time for him. So we can do everything, just love him and obey him. So of course that's gonna affect how we do our things, right? But it's just God. He wants us to be on his side, all right? Because he created us for him, and being with him forever is life. That's the truth, right? That's why God created this. He wants us to know that he created us for him. And why in the whole earth man should decline that, right? Because before, in the beginning, there was nothing. It's just God, him alone, right? It's just him. But he created heavens and earth and everything. Demons, angels, he created them. So, what will happen to a person separated from God? I can't imagine. I can't even imagine being in hell, but being just nothing is the worst. I want to be um, with God because I want to live for eternity. Thank you so much, and God bless you all.